What's going on, you guys? My name is Cameron Noel. If this is your first time here, welcome to my entertainment and commentary channel, where I talk about things that I love and or hate. And if you love and hate the same things that I do, then you should join me, because this is the place for you. If you would like to, you can follow me on Instagram. Or, did I give it enough time? I give it enough time. Or you can follow me on Twitter over here, over somewhere on this little box. It'll be there. It'll give you what you need to go. And make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and hit that bell notification down below so that you get notified when I upload new videos. Listen, so iCarly dropped on Netflix weeks ago. It was trending weeks ago, but as you know, I never post things when they trend because I'm a college student, I got a lot going on, and I'm lazy, and that's a problem, but I'm doing it now because I can. Yeah. So, I've been watching iCarly on Netflix. I'm still halfway through season 1. I can say with confidence that I am mostly a Nickelodeon child than a Disney child. Like, I love Disney, I was getting into Disney, but Nickelodeon was where I was at. Okay? When iCarly and Victorious had a special, I was there. When Freddy and Sam kissed, I was there. When Nora's crazy cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs behind kidnapped everybody in her basement, not once, but twice, I was there. I'm not new to this, I'm true to this. Period. One of the reasons why I love iCarly so much is because I just feel like it's so much more liberal with its comedy. Like, no tea, no shade. I just feel like Disney's a little bit more conservative when it comes to their comedic things. Like, I just feel like iCarly, the whole premise of iCarly of children doing like a web series and like accidentally like doing a talent show, like it's just the idea, like the first episode of iCarly is just out of the box. Not like out of the box like crazy, but like out of the box creative. Like I don't feel like a lot of people would have thought about that. And like their show just like really captured a lot of interesting scenarios. Like iCarly was subverting expectations. Oh, you're gonna like watch your teacher while she's out of school and sneak into her house and sneak into her closet, and what does she have in her closet? What does she have in her closet? A secret shrine to Randy Jackson. Oh, Carly's making a joke about a MMA fighter and now she has to fight the girl. Interesting. A small, effeminate young boy who has a crush on Carly and owns a major website, and now is like trying to force her to kiss him. Like, what are we talking about? Like Neville Papperman, like all of these things, like these are interesting concepts that everybody was not doing. Like the writer's room was working on iCarly. It was working overtime. And just the whole idea of Carly living with her artist brother who dropped out of law school, who went to law school for like one day, who's just making these crazy sculptures, and just like it's just so crazy. And I think Spencer also really made iCarly because he just really was, his randomness really added to the comedy. Like literally walking in and this man is making a sculpture out of butter for the National Bread Convention. Yes. It's just the magic that was happening in that writer's room. It was popping. It was popping. It was a moment, and you had to be there. You just had to be there. Also, I just also want to say that like Nickelodeon was not afraid to be messy. Like the whole, like I'm not gonna get into the love triangle, but the whole love triangle with like Freddy, Sam, and Carly, messy boots. We did messy boots, but I was living for it. But it was messy. But also they were also like not afraid to like get into these kids like love lives. Like Sam had a boyfriend who was using her who was cheating on her. I believe he was cheating on her. And they put this man in a giant bungee and leave like a giant bungee and like stretch his underwear out like on the web. Hilarious. Freddy gets a girlfriend in season 1 and I was very clever of them to like make her look like Carly, like literally like let her have like brown hair, and then her wanting to recruit Freddy and Sam into her web series to basically take iCarly off the internet, and just had a whole vendetta with iCarly. Had a whole vendetta with Carly for like no reason. And the girl was smart. She was like, why is it called iCarly and not iCarly and Sam? Like, I mean, stupid. I mean, she didn't know, but like, you know, Freddy came up with the idea, but whatever. Like, the girl was smart. It was sneaky. It was vindictive. It's been a while since I've seen like the Victorious and iCarly special, but I definitely feel like, vaguely remember like Carly and Victorious were like dating the same guy, and that's what brought Carly to Los Angeles. I believe so. I could be wrong. Correct me if you're wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. All the episodes are not on Netflix. That episode might not be on Netflix. I don't know. Whatever. I haven't gotten to it. So sue me. iCarly had specials. I take over the internet. iCarly just, I was a kid, I remember like sitting up, like new iCarly special coming on at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like I remember sitting at the kitchen table waiting for that stuff to come on. that was my jush. It was my gig. It was my gag. It was everything. That didn't make sense. But I love iCarly. I love iCarly. I don't know what else to say. Like iCarly, just nobody was doing it like iCarly. Like it's just so like it's always some shenanigans happening.
Silly shit.
And as someone who was like an avid fan of like Drake and Josh, because I watched Drake and Josh like religiously, including the movies, and like literally I love Drake and Josh. I was here for like, you know, Miranda Cosgrove getting her own show. Here for it. And also like they subvert expectation. Like nothing is ever gonna be what you think it is. Like Carly meets this really handsome dude and she's really into him, and there's like you think everything is great, like he seems so perfect, and then you go to his room and he has like a giant collage of Pee-wee babies. And then they bring him back in a later episode because there's a power outage in their apartment building, and Carly and Spencer are the only ones who have air conditioning. So everybody comes in there, and this man brings his Pee-wee babies to cool off his Pee-wee babies because they have to be kept at a certain temperature. Like, what show is thinking of these concepts? Now, I'm not here to praise Dan Schneider because you know, some things going on with him. We're not praising this man. I'm just saying the writer's room was really working overtime. But one of the places that iCarly really shines is its side characters. Jeremy, the boy who keeps sneezing and coughing without tissues or napkins, or coughing into his shoulder. Now that we're in a pandemic, he's very triggering to me. Very triggering on my screen, not liking it. Mrs. Benson.
Hey, help me! Somebody get her!
Dad, good luck!
Mom!
Miss Benson, hilarious. Literally, there's like a scene, there's like a line where she's like, "Why won't you love my son?" And I flip. Neville Pepperman, who I'm gonna get to Neville Pepperman later. I'm gonna get to him later. You got Tebow, you got Gibby, who became a mainstay, which obviously they had to because Gibby was just so popular, like literally. And then there's his little brother Guppy, and then Crazy Nora, and like Shelby Marks, and like Tebow. Like Tebow was funny, very funny. This man putting a stick through the wrong hole of a donut. The comedy writes itself. The comedy just writes itself. Now, let me get on to this next point. I believe this in my heart. You can argue with your mama. I don't care. Neville Pepperman is the greatest live-action Nickelodeon villain I have ever seen in my life.
Begin. You feel the room.
Boom! And there we go.
He is the greatest live-action Nickelodeon villain I have ever seen in my entire life. Period. This little boy who owns his own website, who rates all these other websites, who is like so popular on the web, has a huge crush on Carly, and she rejects a kiss from him, and he just takes it to the extreme. I mean, it's the fact that this man, this child, this teenager, literally had a hostile negotiation with Carly in the back alley of her apartment building. He wanted a kiss from her, and then he brought this like, I don't want to say thug because we're not gonna do that, but like he brought this grown man dressed up very intimidatingly to like make sure, like these two grown men blocking her into the alleyway so they can get a kiss from her. That's crazy. His character is just so hilarious, and like his quips, comebacks, like his manner of speaking. He wants a haberdashery. Like this man was doing what needed to be done, and I was thoroughly entertained. I was gagging. Were you not gagging? I was gagging. I was gagging at this performance. It was Oscar worthy. And before I move on, speaking of like, I just mentioned Nora like back a few moments ago. I just want to say the first episode of Nora kidnapping the iCarly crew was one, it was wild. Two, because like iCarly was not afraid to tackle like crazy fans, but also like the fact that like Nora and Gibby had a whole fight. Like, granted, Nora did attack him first. Granted, she did have weapons. Granted, like, she really was doing what she had to do. She was really trying to, like, you know, keep these children locked up in her basement for as long as she saw fit. Like, she really was, like, cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. But, like, the fact that she and Gibby actually, like, had a fight. Like, he, like, full on, like, threw her against the wall, like, body slammed her. Like, I don't know what other children's network would have a fight between a man and a woman on a children's show. Like, I'm not praising it. I mean, Nora was crazy. She was crazy. She was insane. Like, she assaulted him. Like, he was defending himself. I'm just saying, like, I don't know too many children's shows that would show a man and a woman having a full-on fight scene, like throwing each other through chairs, throwing each other through like tables. Like Gibby was leaking at one point. Like they were really like going for it. I don't know. That was wild. That was wild. I enjoyed that episode, but like Nora was wild, very wild. The fact that she came back, Nickelodeon knew. Nickelodeon knew. They knew what they were giving. They knew it worked. They knew what stuck. Purr. I don't know what else. I don't know what else I can like possibly say. So anyway, okay, on to the characters really quickly.
It's a bad bitch. I'm sorry. That's a badass bitch. A bad classy ass bitch.
First we have Carly. Now I like Carly. I think Carly is like the same thing as like Victorious. Like she's not the most interesting character on like the show, just because the show has like a lot more interesting co-characters and also like side characters as well. But I don't think Carly needs to be crazy. Like I feel like that's the point. Like I feel like everybody else is so crazy that like Carly is normal. And I mean Carly has her moments when she acts wild and out of pocket. But like Carly, like she balances out Freddy. Like Freddy's like an extreme, and then Sam is a very big extreme, and then Spencer's an even bigger extreme, and then Gibby's an even bigger extreme. So it's good to have a character like Carly who like balances everybody out. I really enjoy her. She can be funny. Like she can be funny, but like Carly's character is definitely a character that benefits from an ensemble. Like you could not put her on the screen by herself and then like expect that character to hold. I'm not talking about Miranda Cosgrove in general. I'm just talking about like the character. Like you cannot expect that character to hold like someone's attention for like 20 minutes by herself. Like Spencer can hold a show by himself. Gibby, the jury's out on that one. Also, I just want to say that like there's this one moment. The last episode I watched. So I watched the Chicks episode, and I watched the episode where her and Sam were like fighting about like the tickets and like the iCarly shirt, and it was very, very interesting. And one thing I will say, I appreciate Sam never. I appreciate her and Sam never coming to like blows, which I think is really great because they're friends. Like I just feel like that it's never like it never got to that point where it's like Sam was like, oh, I'm gonna go wild on Carly. But I will say that like the episode where they try to like convince Sam to be more girly, it was very like attack dog-ish at the end. Okay, so like yeah, like telling like Sam said she wants to be more girly because she got really embarrassed that like one of their friends said like she's like one of the guys or whatever. And then they introduce like this female bully who fully exists just for Sam to be a punching bag. Like her character literally should be called Sam's punching bag. This girl was introduced, this school bully that we have never seen before is literally introduced so that Sam has someone to punch. And I just love how like that groovy smoothie and the girl starts going crazy and she puts fries down Sam's bra. And like Carly's like, no Sam, don't fight her. And then once the girl pushes Carly on the ground, Carly's like, rip her head off. Like it was very much my attack dog go, because I can't fight and Sam can't fight, so Sam go fight my battle for me. I just found that very interesting. I just find it very interesting.
Daddy, watch me twirl. Daddy, watch me.
Next we have Freddy Benson. Freddy, all I gotta say is, where is the self-love? Because this boy was very much like, where is the self-love? Like literally the first episode, this boy is talking about some, I know that I like you, you don't like me, and I'm constantly okay with living with that constant pain. Like he literally, the child needed help. He needed help. He needed emotional support, and he was not getting that. It was not coming. He needed it. One, I just loved how like Nathan Kress progressed, he like got more muscular, and like I was like, oh yeah, he's lugging that like obviously, of course, Freddy's gonna have like big arms when he gets older. Like he was carrying that camera around. I also tweeted, because I was also like live tweeting when I was like watching the show. I was like, what job does Miss Benson have? Because Freddy has a lot of cameras. He has a lot of cameras, and I'm just saying, like, we know how Spencer makes his money, and I'm still on the iffy about how much Spencer is like selling as far as an artist like for that big apartment, but like I can subvert my expectations. But I was just like, what job does Miss Benson have? Because Freddy has a lot of cameras, a lot of gadgets, and I'm just like. And honestly, considering how overprotective Mrs. Benson is, I'm surprised that she like lets him like use technology. I don't know. Also, Carly and Sam be playing with Freddy's mom, playing with him too much. Like they can do the show without him. Like neither one of y'all has a technical bone in your body. Like y'all can't work this camera. Without the camera, y'all are just two girls in front of girls in front of a lens. Like y'all were playing with this man like he was not like keeping the show afloat. And I'm glad they addressed it, like them trying, like, when he leaves to go with his girlfriend's his girlfriend's web show. Like, I'm glad they like addressed that because they really be playing with him. They were playing with him. They still played with him afterwards, but you know, at least then they gave him his accolades and his just desserts. Not his just desserts, but his credit. They gave him his flowers.
I sensed tension and came as fast as I could.
I like Sam. Sam was a great character. I think they were making too much on her character when they made Sam and Cat. I don't think she needed to spin off. Like, I don't think you should ever like take a character that's so popular and funny and then like just throw them on a show by themselves and like expect them to work out. It just doesn't work out like that way. It just doesn't work out. Like, they literally said, okay, let's take Cat from Victorious because she's people like her, and let's take Sam from iCarly because people like her, and let's put them together and make Sam and Cat. But this isn't a video about Sam and Cat. I'm just saying that was a bad call. Bad call, Nickelodeon. Oh boy. Listen, I'm gonna say this. I'm not trying to make this like political or whatever. I'm just saying Nickelodeon was very smart to make Sam's character white. That's all I'm gonna say. She's aggressive. She likes to fight. She's been to juvie. She carries a dirty old sock with butter in it and beats people with it. She terrorizes children. She slams them against lockers. She steals food. She steals wallets. She shoplifts. She sneaks illegal sugary snacks like fat cakes through the border. That character couldn't be anybody else but white. If that character was any other person of color, people would have lost their minds. Nickelodeon was very much like, this girl has to be white because we're gonna go all out on her character. And I just find it. Oh, and then I mean, I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh my gosh, iCarly was so problematic and yada yada yada. No, I'm really gonna say it was very interesting that her dysfunctional home life with her mother was like the basis of like a lot of jokes. Not that they bothered me. I was just like, wow, interesting. Also, like, Jane Lynch was the perfect person to play her mom. Perfect. Also, I also been watching Criminal Minds, and like Jane Lynch plays Reed's mom on there, and I was like, Jane Lynch, she does a good job at playing the like dysfunctional mother role. She does do that. She does a good job at that. But yeah, I think Sam is great. I mean, like, once again, I do feel like she was like the iCarly attack dog because Freddy and Carly can't fight, so she has to fight all the battles. Like, I think it was definitely up to her. I'm still not understanding how like how old butter could be hard enough to use as the weapon. That's not quite clicking to me, but hey, whatever. I think she's great.
Thank you. And you're gonna always get it again and again and again because these bitches can't.
Next is Spencer. Spencer, the comedic genius, the comedic timing. Like, Spencer, like, Jerry Trainer needs to get his flowers because he needs to get his flowers from Nickelodeon because he really does his role. He knows how to be comedic. They had this man in a baby suit feeding him chowder. They had him building all these crazy things. Like, they had him doing so many crazy stunts, getting stuck in a vent. Jerry Trainer just does the job. Like, he just makes it funny. Like, he's very the dysfunction is very good. It's very good. He's just a hilarious person. Hilariously clueless. And his friend Sacco and whoever else who just gives him like crazy like clothing. It was great. Them dressing him up as a woman to like trick Neville Pepperman and get him to sign over the deed to iCarly. And then him running in full drag from like the security guard. Hilarious. Like, Jerry Trainer just does it. Like, Crazy Steve, Spencer Shay, like, he does his job and he does it well. Even Dudley Puppy, like, he's a great actor. He's a great comedic actor. And I'm here for it. I'm living for it.
Bitch. I gotta get out of here.
The last person I'll add is Gibby, just because like Gibby became a main character, and I really enjoyed Gibby. I think his cluelessness is very hilarious. Him just being that random child wearing no shirt for no reason, I don't get it. But it was a great time. I will say the episode where like Spencer like dates Gibby's mom, and then only thing he can see is Gibby's face. It's a little weird. Didn't need that in my life. I didn't need that. Once again, his shining moment literally was him saving them from Nora. Right. Like, him saving iCarly and them. And then his brother coming, like this is crazy. Like, Gibby being the one to figure out that iCarly is, like, kidnapped. Like, that was a shining moment. Like, saving them from the kidnapper. Shining moment. Shining moment. So that's really all I have to say. Like, my name is Cameron Shamari Noel. Thank you so much for watching this. I greatly appreciate it. Hope you like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification down below so that you can notify when I upload new videos. And I will see you next time. No, that's not what I say. I will see you in the next video.
Boy toy named Troy used to live in Detroit. Big dope dealing money, he was getting some coins. Wasn't shootouts with the law, but he lived in a palace.